You love your web page. It looks beautiful, but you're getting nowhere with anything. So no conversions, no sales. If you think you've maxed out the SEO, but you're getting nowhere in ranking on Google, then today's episode, it could be the reason why things are going wrong. It's all about, do you know your web page load speed? If you don't, or you don't know how to find it out, or what's going on, or what to do, it could be killing everything at the moment, and that means today's show is for you. If you're building an online business but are struggling with time, tech, or money to make it work, then this podcast is the show for you. Our goal here is to share with you our skills, our experience, our knowledge, our online business adventures so that you can build your online business quicker, easier, and bigger than you ever thought possible. Hello, my name's Nigel T-Best, and I'm here with...
I'm Curtis. Welcome to the show.
Let's get on with it. All right, Curtis. So we've got a problem. Okay, we think we've done everything right on our website. We think we've made it look beautiful. You know, we've used Jared. He's over in the other room at the moment, working on something.
I believe so.
Yeah, probably working on his. We've got a dartboard up, and if you hear thuds, that means he's practicing his darts in the background. But yeah, he's doing some design. So you've got your design. You think you've got your web page beautiful. You've gone in, you've looked at your keywords, you've looked at your long tail keywords, you've put them in as your H1s, your H2s, and all the rest of it. You think you've done your SEO, and things are still not working. Curtis, tell us all, what could be going wrong?
Oh, it could be, Nigel, that your website is drastically slow and you've got no idea. So there are ways to check, which we'll go through.
Hold on, but who gives a monkeys if my website's slow? It's a bit like me on a Monday morning, hey?
Well, would you use a website that's really slow, Nigel? Come on.
No, you're probably right.
Oh.
Okay, so what you mean by that is you put in the details or you click on a link and you stare at your phone and you think your phone is broken.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Get one piece loading at a time. It's incredibly slow. No one's got patience for that these days.
Yeah, and I think I was looking at some stats and it was saying, and hey, you can find stats about anything, can't you, folks? But what it was saying was for every second that it takes something to load, the chances are that people are falling off in their numbers, are hitting the back button by crazy percentages. So I remember reading one, it was every second 15% of people will not stay with it. So 5 seconds, that's 3/4 of people will have hit the back button or left. Now, Curtis, I'm going to ask you a question here. What signal does that give to Google if people quit from, they've selected you in a Google search, it's taking a long time to load, they hit the back button, what's that telling Google?
It's not a good sign to them, generally. You're not going to get high in Google rankings ever with that sort of performance. It's bad for your SEO. Obviously, it's bad for your customers as well.
Yeah, so I was looking at something the other day, and it was talking about, okay, Google has sort of, just because you hit the back button, it doesn't mean Google think that you're rubbish, okay? It only thinks you're rubbish if you hit the back button and select a different website from that search. So let's go back a few steps. Okay, you go to Google, you've got a problem, you want to find out how to do something, how to, I don't know, fix a leaky tap, on the sink or whatever, how to fix a shower or whatever it is. And you get a list of people and you've managed to get somewhere near the top of the rankings and people click on you, but it takes ages to load. They go back. It doesn't necessarily mean, folks, that is the death knell of you, because Google says, hold on, in that split second, did they get the answer they wanted from that website or not? If you did. So let's say it was, and I've heard someone else say this, how tall is the tallest man in the world sort of thing. If you click and up comes your website and it's taking ages to load, but the very first bit says tallest man in the world is 8 foot or whatever it is. If you then click back, then Google's saying, I wonder, did they get the answer that they were looking for? Tallest man in the world. Okay. Well, you might have seen it. You didn't need to go to that your website for ages to read all about what his favorite food is, how big his feet are or anything like that. You got the height, the bit of info you needed. However, Google doesn't know that yet. Now, if you click back and go to that search again, scroll down the list and select someone else that was talking about the world's tallest man, then Google says, hang on a minute. That first site we sent them to, they didn't get the answer. So if they didn't get the answer and they've come back to the list and they've clicked another website and then they've gone to that website and then they spent a bit of time at that website, Google says that is a clear indication that the first website we sent them to did not give them the answer. It doesn't necessarily mean that you didn't have the answer on your website. It could just be that the person couldn't be bothered waiting to see because your load speed was terrible. So you've got this double whammy of things. You've managed to get the SEO there, but then Google's thinking, right, maybe they don't have the answer on their website. We thought they did, maybe they didn't. And there's a combination of, the slow speed that your web page loaded meant that the person wasn't going to hang around to see if you actually did. The fact you go back to the how-to list, or the original question list, select another one, and then go look at the answer there, that is just a double bad thing from Google's point of view. Yeah. And you go sliding down the rankings, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. And as you said, Nigel, you can have absolutely everything spot on, but you can still fail on load speed, and that will not drive people to your site. You'll not get those rankings that you need. It's just generally all bad.
Okay, so this is serious, folks. Now, one of the things that you need to be thinking about is, okay, right, first of all, I need to have the answer to the question on my web page. That's the obvious. The second one is I need that web page to load quickly. And, one of the things is, the question right at the top of the show was the question we posed to you, folks, do you know how to find out the speed of your website? Or if you did find out the speed, what you can do with it. So, Curtis, I'm going to ask you first of all, where would you go to find out the speed of your website?
Okay, so this is quite an easy one. There's a free Google tool. It's called Page Speed Insights. Basically, you just go there, you put your web address in, and it'll tell you all sorts of stats about your load speed. It's very useful. We'll have a link to that in the description and notes.
Yep, cool. So it's called what? Page Speed Insights.
Yep, Page Speed Insights.
Okay, and is it a Google tool?
Yeah,
free?
It's by Google. Yes.
It's free?
Completely free.
All right. Now then, in another episode, we're going to go into what we found when we did it with ours and some of the things that it threw up. Because here, folks, don't forget, I'm just going to jump in. Today's sponsor is, of course, it's brought to you by groove.builders. You can join groove.builders membership today, 30 days for just $1, where you'll get access to our content on our training updates. You'll get access to our training library and the information that's in there. You can join our live Q&A coaching sessions where we're going to do technical coaching sessions and, just a more general business or wider sort of thing, so you can have the Groove technical side or the wider business issues. And we've even jumped in on those live ones. Curtis over here has taken control of the laptop or whatever, gone in, fixed some of their issues in just a few minutes. Those things that have held you back for ages, he sorts out sometimes in seconds, which is great. Yep. If you want to know more, want to join us in there, go to groove.builders/build to discover how you can build your business today. All right, back to it. So one of these things here is, folks, that there are lots of Google tools out there that can analyze what's going on. We've got other podcast episodes that are coming up where we look at, we've got clarity from
Oh, yeah.
Microsoft, haven't we?
That's an incredible tool.
Yeah, and we're going to look at these things and how they can help you, because sometimes, look, if you don't know about these things, you don't know what it means. And how do you judge how fast your web page loads? Well, a lot of us have fallen into this trap here, Curtis. In the past, you just load it up on your phone or you load it up on your laptop. Now, what's the problem? Are you getting a true picture of how it loads when you do that?
Not quite. I mean, maybe the first time you load it, possibly, but that's also not going to be accurate for all users. But once you've loaded that website once on your device, it's generally going to be cached. So the next time you load it, it's going to be way faster than anyone visiting your site for the first time. So no, not accurate. And that's the reason you need to use an external tool to check it.
Okay, you mentioned a word there, cached. I take it you don't mean money.
No, cache as in saved, so C-A-C-H-E. So saved on your device, it's just going to load it from your device if it can.
Okay, so it leaves a little bit of the information already on your computer. So
Yep.
just if you go back to it, it's a lot quicker.
Yes.
All right, so checking it on your own computer can't work. Just going to your website and just getting a stopwatch out. Can't do it that way, folks. Go to, what was it again, the Google thing?
So Page Speed Insights.
Page Speed Insights. When you go in there, okay, I tell you what, we're going to just jump in. So if you're watching this on the YouTube, if you want to go to YouTube, just go to youtube.com/@groove.builders. We should be there on YouTube. You can join us there and have a look at this show, which will be on YouTube. And you can have a look at the live demo. We'll try and talk you through what's going on, but we're going to jump into PageSpeed Insights right now. All right, I've still got Curtis next to me. What I've decided to do is just jump in. So if you're watching on YouTube, you can see what's going on. If you're listening on the podcast, I have gone to Google. I've typed in the word page and speed. And the first, there's 3.9 billion results came up actually, but there you go. The first one, https://pagespeed.web.dev. This is the Google one, okay? It's called PageSpeed Insights. And what we did was we've clicked on that and we've just had a bit of fun, because right at the top, what you can do is you can put in, so it says up there, analyze, and it just says, give us a web page, give us a URL to have a go at. So I've just put in Nike.com. Curtis over here, he was aghast. He went, what?
Absolutely surprised.
Yeah. All right. So let's come back to the demo, because on here, folks, what is come up with, these are all sorts of stuff. Hey, there's all sorts of stuff, but the key thing is this set of circles with kind of how you're getting on. And it says diagnose performance issues. And it says the performance for Nike, and this is on the mobile. So you can get a mobile and a desktop. So it does it for both devices. The performance is 17 out of 100. It has a red flag, which means it's below 50. 50 to 89 is kind of amber, and green is 90 to 100. What it does is it says time to interactive. First contentful paint. So it's what do you see on your screen, and how long is it before you can actually start using it? And the first stuff took 5 seconds on the mobile, and it says time to get to be interactive, 23.3 seconds. Now, we said that, you get a huge drop off. So on here, then we said there was a huge drop off in users, people leaving it if it takes a long time. 23 seconds, there's not going to be many who stick there. However, folks, people who are shopping for Nike stuff can't go somewhere else and get, necessarily. They are there, and they will give a massive brand the benefit of the doubt. You don't necessarily have that element to it. So looking back on here, performance of mobile, 17. Let's have a look at the desktop. Performance of desktop, 39. So it goes to show that on here, Curtis, we've just jumped into another company's, website, and there are some issues on there. Just to sort of fill in some of the other bits, accessibility, that means people with disabilities. How good is it an experience is it for them? 79, so that's pretty good. Best practice is 75. SEO score 83, which is probably what you'd expect. So that's desktop. On mobile, very similar, 83 for accessibility, which is what you want. You don't want to lose customers because you haven't made it possible for someone with sight problems, sight difficulties, from being able to understand what's going on. We'll talk about that in another one, but one of the key things is there is a alt image description. So as people who can't necessarily see the image, if they scroll over an image, you can get a web page reader that reads out what the image is. And if yours just says an image, that's not very good. Okay, so make sure that in that alt image description you put something in which is, some really cool trainers with blue flashes down the sides and big things, and all the rest of it. Give people the ability to use it. Best practice is 75, SEO 86, which again is what you would expect, but the performance, the load performance is, this analysis is saying it's poor. So, Curtis, it goes to show, doesn't it? It's not necessarily something that everyone gets right first time, or it can change.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Nike.com, people that are going there, they know what they're looking for, and they're probably willing to wait a bit longer than, say, if they're going to your website, which they're not entirely sure what they're looking for, and they've never been to it before. But with this analysis, on the mobile at least, we go back to the screen, we scroll down a little bit. As you can see, just below these metrics, it sort of gives you some information as to what the sort of analysis is based on. So
yeah, so
it's an emulated phone essentially with emulated speeds, but it is pretty accurate. It may not be accurate for everyone though.
Yeah, so there's lots of things in here. This is going to give you the best idea of what's going on. And as I say, we're going to do another podcast episode about what we found and what we kind of didn't realize, and we discovered when you use this tool. And the reason that we're doing this in the background is so that we can help you go straight to solutions without falling foul of these things and getting caught out by these things. Okay, so we're going to do that in the next one. But there you go. We just wanted to kind of talk on this particular one about the fact that if you are finding that you've got problems where the website visits, so where again you can get other analytics that tell you how long people stay on your website, then if you're getting people who bounce, so they stay on your website for a fraction of a second and are always leaving, and you think, but my website looks beautiful. If you are sending people to it and nobody's clicking the button, if you are sending people to it and nobody's clicking buy now, and you're thinking, I don't get it. It looks beautiful. The buttons work. The content is great. I've spent ages on it. Then this could be your problem. The load speed is not good enough. Okay. And we're going to do another episode, and we're going to say what we found and what you can do about it. But for this one, Curtis, it's good stuff.
Absolutely. I mean, it's definitely something to focus on if you haven't already thought about it. There's a quick little tool you can have a look to check yours. It's really easy to do. If you haven't thought about it before, it may be something that's holding you back that you're not even aware of.
There you go. All right, folks, thank you very much for listening, tuning in today. Don't forget, if you love us, thank you very much. And if you want to give us a review on Apple Podcasts or anywhere else, that would be brilliant. If you want to get in touch with us, you can email us start@groove.builders. And of course, you should subscribe, listen, follow, tag, share, and all the rest of it. Hey, but until next time, my name's Nigel T. Best.
And I'm Curtis. Thank you for joining us.
Cheers.